Yeah, maybe, but the racket will talk.
Good afternoon, everyone. I I was thinking, I was like, you know what? If you want to have a legitimate podcast, a viral podcast, regardless of how many listeners you have to have them, give them a name. I was thinking they could be called the Racketeers.
Love that.
So, good afternoon, Racketeers.
Yeah, good afternoon, you guys.
I will never be using that again because it hurts even just saying. Anyway, what a beautiful afternoon it is, and not because of, in spite of the Dubai women's result, what a beautiful time it has been recently to be a women's tennis fan. I mean, how great was Doha?
Okay, so a bit of context for this. My co-host here has always been, you could say, Middle East doubter. Not a big fan of the, Doha, Dubai swings and big 1000s, all that.
I don't mind them. I just don't think they can both be 1000s. Like,
Yeah.
this portion of the calendar is worth as many points as if you won the Sunshine Double.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think that's right either. I think it mostly made sense when they were like going back and forth each
Yeah.
year. I thought it was fine, but yes, they just decided to change that for reason that probably money related or something. But like the tournament like functions the same. Like maybe the draw is a bit bigger in November, but that's kind of it. It's still 1 week tournaments, which is actually great. That's really the big upside for me still. But this tournament is like, wow, you have this good to great feels. And it's just no bullshit. It gets straight to the point, and I do still really enjoy that about them.
Yeah, I agree. I do really like the 1 week thing, but then it's like it's a 1 week tournament, plus they're like really close back to back, plus often you don't get a completely stacked field. But then even if you tell us it's a 1000, you award 1000 points for it, it doesn't feel that way. I mean, the Falcon Trophy that Muchová won is the exact same trophy as when Iga was winning it, dropping like 3 games because she only played 2 players to win a 500. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. You haven't convinced me that it's a 1000 aside from like, yeah, let's put 7 more players in the draw and award more points. I assume it's probably more prestigious, but yeah, I think you need to do more than that to kind of really convince me. And to convince the players as well, because you can tell lots of them missed it.
Even when it was a 500, the feels like are always the same, and they're good. They're always good. Like most people still are down to play those tournaments because they play pretty well. It's good good practice. It's good. It's good tournaments in general. Like it's only been good winners in Doha mainly. Of course. And
great winners.
Yeah, amazing winners, really. No, but jokes aside, no, it's always been like pretty good tournaments, but yeah, I agree. It doesn't quite feel right at least to 1000s. And the fact that so many people felt like they just didn't really care to play Dubai after Doha was kind of added to that narrative. It's like it can be both.
Yeah, and I think you feel that with the results, like at least the last 2 years, the players who've won them are players who you're like, yeah, you should. You're kind of 1000 caliber, but you haven't got one yet, or like maybe you'll never get one. It's kind of like it feels like it's obviously a great thing for them that they managed to win this tournament still, but it doesn't feel as satisfying as, like, for example, Keys winning the Australian Open and the way she did it. I will never shut up about it, but like it was completely undeniable. Like there's no Mickey Mouse about that at all, and you could never look back and say, yeah, but. And I think with like Anisimova and Muchová, it's a bit of it just feels a little bit less fulfilling than it should be. Having said that, Muchová couldn't win any title, so we will take it. She couldn't win an Arango 500. Yeah. And I kind of think the fact that it was, maybe this doesn't make much sense, but I feel like psychologically the fact that this is on paper a really big achievement without it having the feeling of a really big achievement helped her. So I think the kind of like saying this is a huge opportunity and a huge moment for you, but actually you don't get the sensation that you get when you're at Indian Wells and there's like thousands and thousands of people and everyone really, really, really wants to win. I think that helped her kind of get it done.
Yeah, I
I
can see
think.
that for sure. Yeah, like it suits her character, her profile probably a bit more.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Agree.
yes, I see that.
But yeah, I mean, I could rant for like 2 hours about the schedule because I actually think it's the overall. There are so many issues about it that it's like undermining the tour. There's just so many tournaments that feel overpointed, as in there's too many points for what they are. Too many fields that are emptying, like thinning down at the last minute, or they never even had all the best players. Too many weird, like, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. People that are making these tweets to like prove how strong the top five is, and don't like get me wrong, it is a strong top five, and so many of these players have done like really well in the past 52 weeks or whatever. But also, these points are a bit inflated. Like there are literally more points on offer for everybody because like more of everything, more 500s, more 1000s probably than we need, and so that's also why you need like 6,000 points to get top five when in weaker years, like well, very weak years to be fair, that could get you number one. But yeah.
Yeah. I didn't actually think about that, but I'm glad I can now use that as ammo. I did think, like, when you look at it, it's like, God, yeah, all these players do have 1000s on their, on their whatever
Resume,
points
yeah,
total. Yeah, on their resumes. It's like, there feels like there's too many 1000s, but there
yeah,
probably
literally there
literally is.
are, yeah.
But also, you are in a situation where there's not loads of randos winning them, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Who's the lowest ranked player with a 1000? Mukova.
it's probably Muchová, yeah.
Oh, no, Mboko?
No,
No,
Mbappé is
she's.
above Muchová, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, so it's kind of quite concentrated. I do think it's a
Yeah,
strong
no, it's very
top
strong.
10. Yeah, but I think like the kind of historically strong thing.
Yeah,
Sure. Anyway, having
but
said that,
let's get onto it, yeah.
yeah, we had what was it, two weeks ago? Mukova won
Wait,
Doha.
before that,
Oh
Abu
yeah?
Dhabi, don't you remember Abu Dhabi? We didn't cover that. We ended the AO recording on Abu Dhabi starting. It was
Okay.
all like back to back. Do you remember who won Abu
That
Dhabi?
is an excellent question. That
I
is
do.
a like for straight up phenomenal question.
Think Vondrousova, but
Yeah.
not Vondrousova.
So a left-handed Czech player?
Such as Young,
Yeah. Sarah Balek.
indeed.
Yeah, so even situations like this, okay, not to go back to the scheduling thing, but you've now got Sarah Balek as a 500 champion? Is that
To
right?
be
Is it
fair,
500?
yeah, but to be fair, that's if you look at actually at her path, that could have been a 500 5 years ago.
It's not about, I think it's just more like if you're going to have a 500 and then two 1000s back to back after having just had the Australian Open, like
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah,
how
I agree.
how strong are all those fields going to be? And this has always been the case for 500s that some of them are Rango 500, some of them are Stuttgart, where like you can be ranked 18th in the world and have to go through qualifiers. Maybe not quite that
Yeah.
extreme, but that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm not going to be well, from now on. We'll just be positive about everyone's achievements. I'm really glad. I was a Balek fan since 2022. I watched her play doubles live at Wimbledon. I think she was partnered with a Fruvertova, or she was playing against. No, she was playing against Paulina Kudermetova, and she was partnered with Linda Fruvertova,
Right.
I think,
Yeah.
and there was someone else also there.
That adds up. Yeah, but she did really well. Like actually, it was a bit shocking because she was someone we knew of because she had played quite a few slam main draws, had maybe gotten a few good wins here and there, but this was like all happening like back to back. Like I think she had like one or two. Not sure she had a top 20 win at all before that week, and then she kind of reeled off like three uh, in Abu Dhabi or something. So it was a bit unexpected in that way, but in just you could watch her play. And it's like, wow, she's playing so well. It was very impressive. For me, it's really like the Vondrousova thing, where like it's a bit easy because it's a Czech lefty junk bowler. It's like, yeah, of course, that's the comparison you go to. But when you watch her play, it's like bashers because she beat quite a few of those. She beat Ostapenko, she beat Alexandrova in the final. Probably missing another one of those where like she was just able to
Towson?
diffuse. Yes,
or
I think that's right.
Baptiste.
It is, yeah, 1,000, yeah, for sure. Is
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. So all of them are pretty good, like good at it. And she just found a way to diffuse, to like switch things up so many times on them, that it allowed them to rack up many enforcers, which he was able to take advantage of. So it's like a really, I think stylistically, that's a really strong counterpoint to, all of these big hitters. And
Mm.
she just executed all of it so well. So yeah, super impressive. And I'm always glad to have this type of player on tour. Muchová is unfortunately way too injured for her to be like a force week in week out. So having a few other players with that style is great, I think.
Mm. What would you say? Because I obviously forgot, but then I now remember how you've, because you mentioned that she won watching her and thinking she was playing really well, and like I
Mhm.
haven't really watched her in a while because she's kind of. I felt like I knew her, but she wasn't necessarily good enough to be watching as like an immediate threat. So I hadn't seen her in a
No,
while, but I thought she was really
yeah.
good. What do you think are kind of her more specific strengths? Okay, like the overall game is like Vondrousova, but does she also have the same strengths particularly?
I don't think just Von Chuvas first serve can be sneaky good at times.
We all remember that Rebecca match.
Yeah, like sometimes she just hit a bunch of aces. It's like wow. I don't
Greg
think
vindicated.
yeah, I don't think Bailey has that. Just maybe she will have it
She is
later.
tiny
Yeah,
at the
she's
moment.
that's it. She's like very diminutive. So it's and Volusova is actually pretty tall. She's like a a fake junk bowler. She should be she should maybe should be more of a basher. No, just kidding. It's just how she is. Bailey is like, actually has to play that way. I don't
Mm.
think she has really can't have that much juice in her actual like ground stroke and serve, but she makes it work, and she still finds some ways to be offensive, to like find down the line redirects. She was really efficient. So yeah, I mean, she just had that, she volleys pretty well, I think. Um, she's just one of those who like can do everything pretty well, like strong baselining, good mover, I think as well. So yeah, lots of things to like, lots of qualities. Just yeah, probably missing some heat
Mm.
for some time at the ground or on the.
Do you think she's a bit like who's that little Polish girl, also left-handed, used to be best friends with Iga?
Is it Maya
Maya
Chalinskaya?
Kwalinska.
Yeah, so
Yes.
yeah, and Freki is also maybe a bit like that to an extent.
Mm. But
Yeah.
at least Chwelinska, whose name I'm definitely pronouncing completely correctly, she's
Mhm.
like-handed as well, and she's that short
Oh,
play. Like
right.
when you watch her, you're like, this is
Mhm.
all you can do, and you have pretty much mastered it. So
Yeah.
I I can
Mhm.
kind of see the. I think she's probably already achieved more than Maya, but
Yeah.
I agree. I like those players. I love watching them. I think they're a good antidote, and when they can actually deal with bashers and they don't just kind of fold every time they encounter someone with so much
Yeah.
easy power. It's like, yeah, that's cool.
You've got it. Yeah. 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 For sure, it's interesting to have them
Mm.
around. So yeah, that was Abu Dhabi. Belek had a few more wins actually afterwards. So it's not like she just couldn't win a match in other events, so that's good. She didn't have a great run or anything, but
Mm.
I think she will be able to build on it a little more, which is good.
Mm. There was also Ostrava and Transylvania Open. I'm now looking these up
Right.
because I was like, fuck, I don't remember
Ye-
this. Do you remember who
Yeah.
won those two?
Yeah, I do. Both are on Ostrava, and that's when I noticed that she hadn't done anything at all in like over a year. I was like, huh? Why are you ranked like 120?
I think
But
she was injured for quite a lot of it.
yes, basically I said that on Twitter, like, what the fuck was she doing? And people said like, yeah, she was struggling physically and just not playing well at all. So that happens, but it's good that I mean, she was able to at least find a good run here.
Is she the best like title winner on the tour right now? Like, imagine peak Elise Mertens, but even Elise Mertens was a lot better than that. Katie
Yeah.
Boulter is like fringe sort of top 30 type player, and she never does anything in the big tournaments, but when it comes
Hmm.
to a smaller title, a smaller tournament, she will be there and she will win. I think she's got
Yeah.
three, maybe four titles.
Yeah, she's a queen of Nottingham, famously.
Well, literally she was from there.
Oh yeah, well, and she's winning, so that's a big match player, kind of.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe she feels at home in Ostrava. But yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anyone else who's like
Yeah,
that low down, who's that good at winning titles. I think Tatiana Maria is pretty good at winning titles, but
it's true.
a lot of them are actually 1-2-5s.
Yeah, actually a bit sad for Ostrava actually, which we remember pretty fondly, I think most of us, as like a straight indoors tournament that was
Mm.
played in October, where you have so many good matches, so many good storylines that emerge from it. And I mean, this was pretty far cry from there. Even like most of the good Czech players didn't bother going. So it was, yeah, just a bit unfortunate all around. But I mean, at least, Boulter got some good out of it.
It's once again the fault of the schedule, if you ask me, because we've
Yes.
lost the indoor European swing where the players, yeah, would kind of camp out in Europe and bounce around
Mhm.
them. Like, where could you possibly put a Strava where players would actually show up? You could put it on indoor clay and have it like in that
Yeah.
time,
But
but
even indoor clay is never like, you never want more indoor clay tournaments. It's
no.
like, it's a bit of a freak of nature situation.
I
Um,
do agree. I think the best course of action would be to essentially move the WTA headquarters to Czech Republic. They deserve it. Sorry, Czechia, and have the finals in Ostrava every year. Because part of the issue was of like not having a 1,000 there was that they don't have enough
yeah.
courts. I think they don't have enough capacity, but you don't need that for the finals. And it's always full of people. I mean, the Poles and the Czechs can both get there, make it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, I
Famously,
mean,
it's on the on the border.
and if you remember, that was actually one of the options when they were looking for
Yeah.
a place for the finals. But of course, Saudi money won that battle pretty decisively. But yeah,
Yes, it's always going to be that way, isn't it? Let's move everything to Saudi Arabia or Las
yeah,
Vegas.
not that I guess. Remember Cluj? Cluj was
I
also a part of that indoor swing in October.
yeah, yeah, it was good times.
Mm.
I do remember Cluj because Emma Raducanu made her second ever career final,
Yes,
and
I
then
was actually surprised because the whole time I thought she had made the final in Seoul in 22, but actually that was the semi-final.
there was a semi final. I
So
think that's like one of her only other. I think that was her second semi final.
yeah, of in her career, probably in her career, yeah, I
Mm.
think so. So yeah, it's been quite an interesting journey. It's one of those things where like people are happy for her, but also people are like, she only made this many semi-final, final, whatever, and then she gets dragged by Boris Becker for some reason. Anyways, um,
I think he should go back to prison, like for his own good.
and for ours as well.
But sure,
Uh,
sure, of course. But even like talking about, I reckon he's out and he's like, you know what? I was doing better when I was in the slammer.
that's quite possible, yes.
I think there's a chance that I could thrive in prison because I could just like imagine the lack of screen time.
I mean, I'd probably be more consistent with the gym schedule, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah.
And I'm sure he was in like
Anyway,
a nice prison, you know,
oh yeah, no, for sure. He had tea.
financial
He
crimes
was,
prison.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what did he actually say about Emma?
I mean, literally, when it was just a stat that was like, oh, this is her first final since the US Open, and also it was like seventh semi-final or whatever, and she just tweeted, "That's it?"
Oh
Question
yeah,
mark.
yeah, yeah.
Which
And it
honestly,
was
it's one of those things that like Woomph would tweet, like that's like a very troll like wording, like it's really strange that you would say that
yeah.
about yeah, but
I
yeah.
was quite sure it was a fake account because yeah, I know what you mean. It's like that's not how
Yeah,
old German people
no,
speak.
no, it's just like when you're trying to like drag the Spotify streams or like your least favorite pop star on Twitter, you're like, that's it. Yeah. Anyways,
Do you think
uh,
Boris Becker's timeline feed has like loads of like Ariana Grande fans? Because he's
that
probably
that
found his way into that algorithm.
that must be it. That has to be it. Yeah. Working theory. Anyways, she did make the final and she played this pretty incredible semi-final to get there. So I was entertained by that. I liked it. She was playing this girl who terrorized Keys in the first round of the Australian Open, if you remember. It's just like I don't remember her name. She's from Ukraine. She has like all these tattoos and stuff. Um,
Alexandra Olinikova.
yeah, she was on one in Cluj. She was terrorizing anyone in her path with the moon balls of a lifetime. I mean, it was really a sight to behold. It's they are so high, like every time, and it's like I was like, this is going to hit the ceiling actually. Like
Yeah.
it had that like comic entertainment value, which I do like. It's like that one point that Kerber and
I
Wozniacki
knew you
play
were gonna I knew you were gonna bring
at
it up.
generals, which I do love every time it's on my timeline. It's a whole like 2 minutes thing. I watch it every time in full. But yeah, she was doing it. At first, Raducanu was like coping decently well with it. She had like an edge on serve and return because she the more powerful of the two, I think. But yeah, suddenly she was down a break in the third, and she really had to fight herself, fight the woman to get over the line, and she did quite well. I think I was actually pretty impressed.
Yeah, I agree that we need to bring back comedy. Comedy is legal again, thanks to Oli
Mm,
Nikova.
yeah,
Yeah, it was so funny. It was like it's like where you're actively waiting for the ball to come back down.
yeah,
And it's such a
yeah.
good
No.
tactic because it does like sometimes if you're a tennis player, you have to fucking annoy people
Hmm.
to do well. I feel like Djokovic does quite well at annoying people. It's a different way. Obviously, he doesn't just like straight up junk ball them, but it is an
Yeah.
effective tactic because like tennis is by definition probably the most repetitive sport. And if you can every single point do something that
Yeah.
pisses your opponent off,
Hmm.
they are probably not going to withstand that throughout the match.
And it builds up for sure. And also, it's like it was mostly moon balls, but then sometimes you would see like the cleanest back and drive you've ever seen for like a down the line winner. It's like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. She
Yeah.
is a character. Like she's
Hmm.
yeah. I feel like I think some of the tattoos on her face are not permanent and she like puts them
Hmm.
on every now and then. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yes, that was a fun experience. I forgot about that. Yeah. Nothing else that interesting happened in that first week, I don't think. What were the men doing at
No.
that time?
Great question.
It
Um,
was Ugo and Bear season, wasn't it?
yeah, kind of, but I don't think he won anything.
I think he
So it was
potentially lost a
it,
final to Felix.
it was Montpellier, which Felix won. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
it. Felix Auger-Aliassime, of course. Indoors king, as we all know. Did win Montpellier, maybe
Yeah.
against Humber. I'm not
No,
actually
it was
sure.
Adrian
No.
Manarino
Okay,
who's
yeah, who did beat
still there.
Humber? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Always has something here and there. Manarino.
It was also the return of Arthur Fils,
Right, which has been going pretty well.
which I think we'll talk about
Yes, for
later.
sure.
Yes. So then week later we had, of course,
Doha
Doha. Yeah, but we'll talk
and
about
then
the men
and
first because they did
Rotterdam. I think that's
Rotterdam,
right. Yeah,
Dallas, and Argentina.
right.
Mm. Did you watch any of this kind of bullshit?
Dallas, I watched the Eurosecond of it. Rotterdam, maybe like 30 minutes of it. I mean, I was only watching Doha. Okay, let's be real. I basically only watched Doha this week,
Hmm.
which I think, can't really fault me for that. Um, yeah, and Argentina, I watched none of it.
Hmm.
But I
Yes.
did keep up with, the highlights, with all the storylines. I think pretty big one for Dallas was actually Fritz, like playing epics every single round, despite clearly being injured still. But his whole thing is like, oh yeah, actually it's because it's a knee thing and it doesn't get better if you don't rest. But also like this lines up with a pattern of Fritz always playing,
Hmm.
always playing through injury all the time. He's good at it. He managed pretty well, but it's like that doesn't sound sustainable. And then he's like, yeah, I don't think I can play like at 35 or whatever. It's like, I mean, probably not if you keep up this bullshit. So it's one of those things where you're like impressed by him and his character and all that, and just like concerned with his choices.
What
Like
is this? It doesn't get better if I don't play thing. Like what? Unless that is like, unless he's got like knee cancer, I don't believe that.
that's what he's saying. His doctors the time. So I'm like, who am I to say that's not true? But it sounds weird to me.
His doctor's on someone's payroll. You can't trust
Yeah,
American doctors. I mean,
his doctor is getting that last money, I guess.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, but yeah, he lost to Shelton. Actually, I think in a pretty big match in the third because I mean he always still somehow finds a way to play well, Fritz, even though he's uh, body is broken in like many kinds of ways. So yeah, Shelton had to like really dig to get over the line there. And yeah, he won it. 500 actually a bit of a weak one like, for the ATP, which is a
Yeah.
bit more rare.
They do that though. Sometimes they put these tournaments in America and it's like there's just loads of Americans. And so it's strong enough, but actually as soon as you get off outside like the top six, it's just more Americans and it's like, okay, it's Marcus Giron and stuff.
Dallas feels like the US championships that used to be a thing in tennis like many decades ago. You still had like national championships, and Dallas kind of feels like that still.
Yeah. I was really unimpressed by Shelton that week because I watched his semi-final match against Chapo and
Mhm.
like he won like pretty much because of like a few bad decisions by Chapo
Mhm.
in the third
Shocking.
set. And the second, yeah, of course. But that's crazy because Shelton's meant to be one of the best players in the world. You can't be relying on that from 2026 Shapovalov in order to win that match.
Mm.
I was like, I'm not moved. And I also wasn't moved at the Australian Open. So I think I
Mm.
was ready to be excited by him because I know you were getting quite excited by him. But
I mean, the thing is, until him at he was playing great at AO. So
there's
it's
something about I just think as an adult man in this year trying to be an elite tennis player, your rally tolerance just has to be pretty much perfect. And I think
mm,
this is
yeah,
going
it's
to
fair.
put a cap on Felix's career and probably has already. And I think it's a problem for Ben Shelton as well. You think like Taylor
Mm.
Fritz and all those kind of those guys who you consider like the best 15 players in the world, most of them you can't fault their rally tolerance and
Yeah.
you can't really think of a side that gets broken down or even like
Yeah,
rushed.
like even like Prime Tsitsipas, he had a back end weakness, but still, his tolerance was good. He was really hanging on when he needed to. So yeah, no, I think that's a fair critic. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the time when I watch players, that's what distinguishes like good top 50 players from the actual elites is like,
Hmm.
you know, Greek sport, huge forehand, huge serve, good volleys, all this kind of stuff, but is the rally tolerance good enough? Are you able to win like boring points?
Is
Probably
everything that
not.
big? The stuff is
Hmm?
like pretty good. I don't think his forehand is like huge. I think it's like
Greek
okay.
sport.
Yeah,
He's literally just Dutch Struff.
she's much smaller for one.
Smaller, yeah. But they have the same. Okay, well now you're
They look the
cranking it
same.
up.
That's what you're saying, actually.
They look the same. Their games are the same.
Hmm. I
Right.
think Greek ball looks very different without the hat. I've noticed that over the last few weeks.
He's very cute.
Without the
Um,
hat.
he's no, he's cute. He's cute all the time.
Okay,
Not
interesting.
not like hot cute. He's like a little baby.
Okay. All that to say, he did okay, I think. Oh yeah, there was like big Dutch drama in Rotterdam, which probably we don't have time to cover.
Oh yeah, because actually Greek sport called a different Dutch player shit because he lost to someone really lowly
Ranked
ranked.
like 400 in the Davis Cup. Yeah, that happened, but we don't have time to get
They
into
were
that, I
talking
guess.
about treason and stuff like that, weren't they? Like,
Yeah, it got really intense in Rotterdam. So I guess look out for the next Griekspoor against Jesper de Jong match, which obviously no one would give a fuck in any other circumstance. But yeah, that's what we've got.
Jasper de Jong, the only thing I know about him, the only thing I care about him, is that he was trying to chirp Emma Raducanu like before she was, even before Wimbledon. Like I think they went back to the junior days, and I remember being on her Instagram when she was playing like round two of Wimbledon, when she had like 3,000 followers, and he's like commenting on everything, so
Oh my god,
shameless.
these athletes, that's all they know how to do. I mean, actually, it's very guilty as well. Like Ilya Malinin just got clapped for literally the same thing.
Really, a woman?
Yeah, yeah, woman.
Might I
He's
suggest he look elsewhere?
he's famously straight.
I don't know if he's famously straight. I think he. Okay.
Anyways.
None
Anyways,
none of those figure skaters are straight men.
mm,
None of them.
another working theory.
I think like
Uh,
I think biologically this is going to be the most homophobic thing I ever said. I think biologically you can't spin like that if you're
mm.
straight.
Yeah, but supposedly his spins aren't great. His jumps are great.
But you're
Anyways,
spinning when you're jumping.
that's true. Well, this should be a figure skating podcast. I've watched more figure skating than tennis lately. Anyways, all of that to say, yeah, that happened in Rotterdam, and Domino actually won the event, which for him probably felt great because he lost to Alcaraz and then Sinner, or other way around. Other way around. He lost to Sinner, then Alcaraz. In Rotterdam, of course, didn't have a chance in those. So it probably, and so it was his first final in a row. Probably felt great to get over the line.
Do
Yeah.
you know who he lost to the year before that?
Either Auger Simon Tsitsipas.
No, I think it was Dimitrov. I think it was a
Oh,
great performance. I
okay.
think that was the start of the Dimitrov resurgence.
Okay.
I think, if I'm correct. We're done with the Diminor thing. Like, good for him, but
Yeah, I
we are
mean,
done.
yeah, no, there's like not much to read into that. It's like one of those things. Given the field, he was favored and he made good on that, and that's always that's something he does. He always does, really.
Hmm.
He gets up to his ceiling and he reaches it.
Mm. He beat Felix in the final. I think Felix beat Bublik as well, which I thought was like it was shocking.
Pretty easily, actually, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and then I think Felix was injured in the final, so couldn't take
Oh,
that
okay, fine.
much.
Oh, there we go. I'm forgiving him because I looked at that result and I was like, that's a bad result. Like, I think you should be winning that match.
And just losing that badly was especially bad, I think, egregious. But yeah, he had an excuse, and yeah, that's what happened.
Yes, and then in Argentina, the Katie Boulter of the ATP won. Francisco
Is that
Cerundolo, who seems to
uh,
win like 7 titles a year.
I was, yeah, you know what? I was thinking Dalderi, but he Dalderi lost, I think, in the final.
He did lose in the final.
Another contender for Bolter of the
Yeah.
ATP. Anyways,
How many career titles do you think Luciano Darderi has?
3 or 4,
4
like
titles. Will you
maybe.
guess his career singles record as a man with 4 career titles and a career high of 21?
I can't actually get the actual number, of course, but like win rate should be about like 52%.
Yeah. 55, 56.
Okay, yeah, something like
How
that.
do you have 4 career titles with 55 wins?
Oh, 55. Oh, wow, he's negative. I was guessing percentage.
Yeah.
So he's, yeah, wow, that's kind of wild. Yeah, well, he just makes good on his opportunities.
4 career titles.
Yeah, that's really a lot. It's kind of huge. But yeah, good.
Naomi
I mean,
has 7.
anyways, there are issues on both sides here. To explain.
They are actually polar opposites though. Like one guy
Mhm,
wins a ton of like tiny clay titles.
yeah,
One
Muchová
guy
for
wins.
slams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, that happened there. Cerundolo Darderi. I tried to watch some of it, but then like the crowd weren't even into it, and so I was like, no one's enjoying this then.
Why would I be into it? Yeah, no, it just was what it was. But good. I mean, it's good that an Argentine one. Suddenly, I was doubting whether Swindler was Argentine, but I
He
think he is.
is.
Yeah,
He is.
yeah. That's good. For
Good
them.
for them.
Yes.
Mhm.
But then yeah, we move on to the big guns in Doha,
Yes.
which yeah, I'm only missing only like notable absence I think was Sabalenka, who usually doesn't play that much. I mean, and when she plays, she does badly. So she's like, yeah, well, I don't care. And she always goes super far in Australia, so it makes sense.
I don't know if she's the only. It was the only notable absence because also Naomi wasn't there. Not saying
Oh,
that she
Keys,
would
yeah,
have won, but
Keys.
there's like,
Oh no, that's true. That's true. Keys kept, Pegula kept. So actually, like, I think a few security concerns in the Middle East,
oh
which
yeah,
ended up like not being that much of a thing. But yeah, there were like quite a few like skips, but still, like think 8. I won't say 8 of the top 10 was there, which is for 1,000. That's still quite strong. So yeah, and then the tournament unfolded in many interesting ways. I think it's fair to say. Gauff was rough to start with, or just at all. I don't remember. Did
who
she? I think, yeah, she lost first round though. Yeah, she did.
she to
To Koch.
Kalinskaya
No, to
to
Cocciaretto.
Cocciaretto. Yes, the most underrated player in the
Yes.
world, Cocciaretto, who's now beaten Paolini and Gauff,
Goff
just
and Pegula.
playing like unplayable.
and Pegula at Wimbledon.
Did I say Paolini? I meant to say Pegula.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, Pegula. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not keeping
Uh,
up with Paolini losses like that.
uh-huh. Yeah, and that was when Pegula was low-key Wimbledon contender. Anyways, uh,
Yeah.
one of those. But yeah, no, she actually she played great, Cocciaretto. I watched quite a bit of this. Good ball striker. Gauff was obviously all over the place, and that's how it was. It was another one of those where she like tasked with finding like a good level actually because the opponent is playing great, and when she knows her level is bad and the opponent is playing, that's what happened in Australia. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't, like, I don't have it in me actually to do anything about this really. So
Mm.
yeah, she lost.
It feels like she knows how to bring the opponent's level down, and if
Yeah,
that's not working,
it's like,
it's she can't raise her own level up to
yeah,
their
yeah. So it just can't
point.
happen.
Mm.
So yeah, that was concerning, but of course she went on to do much better in the next week because that is what she does. Yeah, and then I mean, what other notable thing happened like in the early parts?
I will talk a little bit more about Cocciaretto. I'm
Yeah.
feeling vindicated as well because I
Hmm.
told Bianca how good she was.
Hmm.
I think she should have won this tournament, but I will take the winner anyway. Yes, I'm looking at the semi-finalists. So Rebecca lost with match points against
Because
Mboko.
yeah, in the quarters, I
Was it with
actually
match points?
even with match points are like
Or she served for
up
it?
up pretty deep
Mm.
in the third and stuff.
Mboko also beat Andreeva, who had match
Yes,
points.
yes, yeah. She played those two epics back to back.
Mm.
Um,
Iga lost to 2026 this year is, by the way. You are listening to the right podcast. Iga lost to
yes,
Maria Sakkari. This
yes.
was crazy.
At that point, I mean, people were already forgetting. He got struggled. They were like, "Oh yeah, she's so winning this title." And because to be fair, it felt like an opportunity. Her draw had already like kind of collapsed, which is why she was facing Sakari in the quarters in the first place. But Sakari said, "Do not underestimate me in the big year 2026." And to be fair, she was good, Sakari. I mean, I was about to say that match, but no, that's all tournament. She was good in the semis too.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah. Goodness me.
yeah,
Yeah. I was. It kind of does make sense to look at Sakkari and think, okay, maybe she's back to a sort of sustainable level where it's like everyone's completely forgotten about her. No one's
mhm.
putting any pressure on her anymore. People aren't really kind of thinking about former world number two, Maria Sakkari. They're just
No,
like,
that's a joke, if anything. It's not.
yeah, yeah. But so I think she is probably in this place where she's a little bit free to kind of do
Mhm.
whatever she wants. And
Yeah.
it did show, I agree, she was really good, but it feels like a sign of if I to me, because I feel like it all started in Doha for Iga, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it all started by beating Sakkari, who'd beaten her 3 times in a row.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was watching that and I was like, oh God, we've like come full circle. I think this might be the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season unfolds, but that's one of those things. Every time Iga played a good season, she won Doha. It was just one of those things where, like, she usually had a pretty mediocre Australian Open, but then she would show up in Doha, some of her favorite, best conditions on tour, and she would just get everything started from there. And she had some of her most dominant performances, some of her most comfortable wins. She's still, I think she's the only player to actually win Doha 3 times, and she did 3 times in a row. It was really one of her events, some of her best conditions on tour. Last year, you could actually even, dismiss that loss as like, well, it's Ostapenko on a great day. She has this hate boner against Iga, whatever, it happens. Um, and but this time it's like, what are we doing? Like, how do we even make sense of this? It's it's complicated. It's one of those things where, like, it's it's not a shocking loss. Like, you look at the match and it looks similar to a lot of matches she's lost recently. So it's like, yeah, it's just a bit more surprising because it is in Doha. But if anything, it's confirmed that what we saw last year for Iga, like, form and confidence matters way, way more than anything surface condition related.
Mm.
Like, the first time she felt like she had some juice and some confidence and some freedom was on grass and still some supposedly bad condition for her, and she was playing great, so she won. Um, And yeah, and it was the opposite on clay, and it was the opposite in indoor. Just too little confidence. I do want to say she did okay in that match. I'm not. I've been way more like annoyed and like disappointed in like several of her recent losses. More than by this one. It looks bad on paper because it's 2026 Sakari, but you look at the match, you look at the way Sakari was playing, and like what Iga was doing is like, I mean, it's not it's not super encouraging. It's not great. It's not the worst. Like it's okay. She fought really well in the third. She could have been way more decisive for Sakari. And to her credit, Iga did something she always says she wants to do and never actually does, which was trying to switch it up, hitting a few drop shots here and there, coming to the net actually quite a few times, even on some big points. Actually, I think it lost her the match too, arguably. But she said she wanted to do it, and so she did it. So I, I think I can at least respect that. I actually don't think it matters that much whether she's good at volleying. I think her fundamentals need to get back to a better level. But that's besides the point. She said she wanted to work on that, and she's working on it. And so, yeah, that it is what it is at this stage.
Do you think she might be regretting letting Thomas go? Just because, even if it's not anything to do with this, you have to look at the fact that she started with Thomas in the beginning of 2022.
Mhm.
She had like her best at the time, the best Australian Open performance, and then a few fine tournaments, maybe just one fine tournament, and then won 37 matches in a row, became
Yeah,
world number one, and has been really great since then. They parted ways, and since they parted ways, she's been
shaky.
a slump, yeah, slumping. She
Yeah,
still won. She still won Wimbledon, and she won Cincinnati in that time. So like, that's
mhm.
still pretty incredible. But in terms of the consistent greatness, the consistent excellence,
Yeah. She
that seems to
hasn't had.
line up with Thomas.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you have so many like working theories, and probably we'll never really know
Mm.
what it was until she comes out and says so. It's probably a multitude of things. But yeah, like between June 2024, which is her last RG title, and between so between June 2024 and I want to say like the end of 2024. She did the followings. She had the most tragic, heartbreaking loss of her career at the Olympics. She got a doping ban, and she let go of her coach who took her arguably to these great heights. So all of those things happened within like a pretty short time frame. So you're always working with like, okay, something changed over those few months because really she was never the same afterwards. And so, yeah, the question is, what was the most important? Is she over the Olympics? Is she over the doping ban? Is the collaboration with FISA just not working out? You don't really know.
Hmm.
And we probably won't know for a long time. But all of those are, um, you know, viable theories for sure. I do want to say, actually, I heard some really great analysis on the, um, how do you say that? On another podcast, one of our um, more famous contemporaries.
What do you mean more famous? That can't be possible.
One of our rivals, you could say. He doesn't know who we are. Is Gil Gross, who mostly sticks to ATP, is like fantastic analyst. I should don't mind shouting him out. I think honestly, I think everyone should watch him. But yeah, he was actually asked a WTA question, which doesn't happen all that often. He was asked about Iga, so like, what do you make of this? Like, what's going on? Why has she been worse? And his read on it at the moment is we've talked about this, of course, to an extent, but I think his like specific analysis was more precise, and that's something I really hadn't thought of. She's stuck as far as like her identity on court. We've talked about this. Like, are you still bashing and like being super aggressive and like having basically every point decided on your racket, like the way you did basically in your prime? Or are we trying to go back to more measured, trying to take advantage of your athleticism, all that, which is what Fissette has said many times.
Mhm.
He has been trying to implement. And so we know about this, that's much is confirmed. He's been pretty clear about that. And it never really comes together. Like you could say it came together a bit in Wimbledon, but also like you had the X factor of the serve, which was just so good and so like so great that you couldn't. Was it like is she playing differently, or like is the serve so much better that she's just able to execute aggressive tennis that much easier? And Gil's read was she can't accept people eating through her. That's not, psychologically that's not something she's willing to accept. She can't like, oh, Rebecca plays this amazing match against me and she won like 7-5 in the third and she hit like 60 winners. She cannot accept that outcome. That's and like even on like a point to point basis, that's something I'd noticed before. She gets super mad when you hit a winner against her. You can hit this like amazing shot where like there was realistically not much you could do about it, and she's like, "Oh no, that can't happen. I have to do something different. That's like a failure on my end. You hitting a great shot is actually my fault, and I need
Hmm.
to fix it." And when you're trying to be like more consistent and to defend more and to have a better balance between like defense and offense, you can't have that mindset. You can't just not accept that someone is hitting a great shot, that it can hit through you. That doesn't work.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's like a pretty great read analysis.
Hmm. Something another rival podcast, slightly more
Mm,
famous than us, used I feel like they used to talk about was like how much use a player seems to remember point to point,
hmm.
and like someone like Kvitova. You see that the bashers have this quite a lot because in order to be a successful basher, a genuine basher, you have
Yeah,
to forget what just happened. Because if you hit a forehand and it went like 5 meters long, any normal sane person would go, right, now we hit a different shot. We try and take a bit of pace off it, blah, blah, blah. But you have to go 100% and trust in that shot again. So the
yeah,
ability to forget the thing that just happened is something that's very critical for your
yeah,
success. Someone like Kvitova, you can like see that happening. And a lot of the times it means that you play a fucking ugly, terrible match where it looks like you haven't made any adjustments. But sometimes it means that you can have this incredible comeback where
yeah.
one point you missed a really important shot, next point you go for the same thing and you make it. And I feel like what it sounds like from what Gil's saying is that Iga doesn't have that ability to forget what just happened, and so it carries
No,
throughout the
and
match.
it's so interesting because she's known for like being super dialed in and focused, point in, point out. And maybe she's lost a bit of that to an extent, that maybe that's just interesting to think about.
Mm.
And like I really think she's in this like what do you call it when you're like stuck oh in no man's land, she's stuck in no man's land because she doesn't seem able to actually play the brand of tennis that Wim thinks she should play. And I actually agree with him on this. I do think she should find a better balance between offense and defense. And she also can't play the way she used to play with Thomas. I think she just lost too much confidence on it. So
Mm.
even if she's like, okay, the opponent is being too aggressive, I can't let them hit through me. She can't execute the super aggressive ball striking the way she used to. So neither is working. Like kind of refuses to do one subconsciously, and she can't do the pass form as well as she used to. So
Mm.
she's really stuck to an extent.
I've said this a billion times. I think players like identity is very important to a tennis player, and I think they should be
Hmm.
allowed to choose their own identity and pursue their own identity, even if someone else thinks that there's a way that they could be using their skills a bit
Mm,
better. I
yeah.
really think I don't know how you get back to that point, but I feel like if she only had access to a sports psychologist or someone who she could talk to and think about things who would actually be helpful
Hmm.
for her, and she could take some time to kind of figure out what is like the most organic way for her to play. If she were to get on the tennis court without any other noise or advice from anyone and just play
Hmm.
how her body wants, what would it be like? I feel
Yeah.
like people should try and embrace that. It just becomes so difficult to go against that and try and make yourself into
Mm.
something else. Very few people can, and if they
So
do,
you
then
want,
like
yeah,
wow.
so
But
you want her to like take the Alicia Liu approach, where like focusing on doing something that makes sense to you and that like even brings you joy to an extent. That's maybe
yeah,
worth
it's
it.
a figure skating podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I think there are some great things you can take from other sports, other people's approaches to sports. And I
Mm.
actually don't think figure skating is necessarily a good example. But if you look
No.
at like the play, yeah, because it was very regimented. But you look about like
Yeah.
the athletes who do the silly fun things like freestyle skiers and all that kind of jumping and stuff, and they're always about yeah. I do what my body says, and it's like how about having fun. It's just about going out there and do all that nonsense.
Yeah.
I really do think that is quite important when you're someone who's like as sensitive as Iga and as harsh on herself as Iga is and as like as much of a perfectionist as she is. I feel like forcing yourself to because it almost is like if you're playing someone else's way, it's like you're kind of going into an exam every match and you have to try and do what
Mm.
they have told you is the right answer.
Yeah.
If you're
It's
playing your own way, it's like you're writing an essay and
yeah.
it's about expressing your own feelings about something. And it can go well and it could go badly, but ultimately it doesn't feel like you're trying to meet a prescribed
Mm.
bar.
Yeah, but the thing is about Higa is like, who is she really as a tennis player? Because that's it's not like she has been a basher all along. She used to be something else. So
Yeah.
if anything, she's returning to something even further away when she was much younger.
Hmm.
So
But people change when they age, like
yeah, it's true.
her instincts might have changed, her desires might have changed. That's my point. I don't think
Mhm.
that she can be told the way to play. I feel like she needs to go back and find that and discover that for
Mhm.
herself. Maybe this is actually maybe we'll there's like a broader theory here about people who are excellent young and they kind of find their successful game when they're at a point where like their brain and everything else hasn't fully developed and
Yeah.
then they feel like they have to do that even when they change as a person. It's like
Mhm.
people who like are in a relationship from the age of 15, they're like high school sweethearts, and then they get to 27 and they're like, we're not the same people anymore.
Yeah.
Athletes should
But
look and see if their relationship still works for them.
but actually, I do think there's something there. Like maybe not even about the game, but just like it always feels like the team is like super important for to a guy. And it's like
Mm.
maybe at this stage, kind of need to figure a few things out for yourself.
Get
Like,
rid of Daria.
well, yes, but just like in general, like it's yeah, it's like seems like there's like quite a lot of not even just on Daria, like dependence on her team and like
Mm,
and those relationships defining her because she always been like, yeah, it's all about teamwork, which it's a good approach, but like at the end of the day, you are playing on court and you're the one who seems pretty unhappy a lot of the time. So
mm,
what is it that you want to do? She's always like, yeah, I just want to work on my game, like the results will come later, which it's a fine approach to have. So that's like I understand, and it probably does make sense to her. But like, are you, yeah, are you happy at the moment? I think pulling out from Dubai, I think that's great. She said she wanted to skip more and like to just like ignore the point penalties or whatever, and just do whatever was best for her. I think that's great, and like I'm glad that, at least there is this. I'm glad she's working to work overall as far as
yeah.
what she said she wanted to do for the year. Like she's trying the volleys or whatever. Even in my opinion, I don't think it's all that important, and she's taking time when she feels like she needs it. So
Mm. I mean, you could look at Carlos, who got rid of his coach, who he's been. People thought, even I thought, he's probably
yeah.
quite reliant on. They've been together since Carlos was like 13 or something ridiculous,
Mhm.
and they seem to get on really well, really love each other. We don't know what went on there, but they parted ways, and it looks like it's been great for him. Like that's such a
Yeah.
brave thing to do, and it's been really successful. So I agree. Yeah, maybe a bit of a change up with the team, not
Mm.
naming any names.
More like just some
Anyway,
general soul searching maybe.
yeah, she needs to go
Uh,
to Costa Rica where Bianca went.
hmm. Maybe she needs to play some ITFs.
Yeah, that would. I mean, imagine the score. These girls would like not win a point, and they'd be like, "Why the fuck are you here?"
Be like 20 minutes matches.
Yeah.
That's peak Susan Langland scorelines and times. Anyways.
Anyway, the people who actually made it past the quarterfinal, no shade to Iga,
And
Sakari
Rebecca.
Ostapenko and Rebecca Nia. Rebecca, the
Mm.
best player in the world. Oh my god, never gonna lose another match. This queen, my angel, my silent princess. She lost again to Mboko.
Mm.
Mboko, yeah, played a final against Muchová, who'd after the Sakari win in the semi-final, look, Muchová had a very handy head-to-head against her,
Hmm.
which doesn't count for anything in Doha this year, as we
Yeah, and I mean, and also a lot of these matches were like actually not that easy.
yeah.
Um,
But that was when I saw that the way she'd played, this was like very un-Muchová to me. Like
mm,
she, it was like how actual good players approach matches and how there seemed to be some kind of confidence in her that
mhm,
like as well as Sakari is playing and executing right now, it won't be like this forever. Bless her soul. She's a bit of a choker. This is a semi-final. I know that over 3 sets she is not as good as me. And she just kind of waited and she weathered the storm and she figured out how to win the match. And after
mm,
that, I was very quietly confident because I thought that is was very unmukovian.
yeah,
And if you can do that in the semi-final, why not be your best unmukovian self in the final as well? And
yeah.
she was. I mean, yeah, I
But
think Mboko was not at her best. I think it's fair to say.
no, I mean, she wasn't terrible. She was okay,
Yeah.
but probably had, I mean, a lot of intense tennis in the legs. I mean,
Hmm.
so back-to-back matches against and Rebecca were like probably truly brutal, and she, if anything, Ostapenko should have been able to take advantage of that. But of course, it's Ostapenko, so Mboko didn't have to work all that hard
Oh
physically
yeah, it
to,
was like straight sets, not close, right?
yeah, no, like 6-2, 6-3 or some shit,
Hmm.
like 1 hour, 10-10 type of deal. Because Ostapenko was in fact terrible. If anything, yeah, that's when it should have manifested. But no, yeah, they played in the final. Mukova, I think maybe second set was a bit physical, maybe, but Muchová always seemed up for it, and Moko a bit faltered to an extent.
I think she actually, I don't know if she was aware about all the tennis that
No,
Mboko had played,
probably
but
not.
she played it like she was because it was like any window that Mboko managed to open, which was quite a lot of them. I think she did really well,
Yeah,
generating chances, breaking,
I
kind of like
mean,
being there in the match. Mukova just kind of said she instantly shut it down and was like, "No, we're
yeah,
not doing all that. This I'm not going to let this get too close or scary or anything." Which is when I
I
would have
mean,
trusted Mboko.
yeah. In the second, that was such good like competing from Mboko.
Yeah.
Like if you remember, like she almost did the Kenny hold.
Mm.
That was so crazy to me. Like the match felt so over. Yeah, she was down
Love
and she was
40.
yeah she was down low 40 and like Mukova had been like easily holding the whole time for like the past 50 minutes, and it's like this match is so over. And suddenly, when Boko pulls out the fucking cannon hold, almost, she had one service winner as opposed to like an ace or a clean winner in one of those. But everything else was like either an ace or like a big winner. That was so impressive to
Mm.
me. And then she broke in the next game because, of course, that's how momentum in tennis works. And usually, you really can't overcome that. But actually, Mokova, I think, did great to recover and actually not let up until the very end.
Yeah. Very mature performance. I could it felt that way. It was like we're not doing this bullshit anymore. We're not doing this, oh, I can't win finals, all this kind of
Mm.
crap. She was like I can imagine how Sven Tennis, my king, my god, how he spoke to her before that match and was like,
Mm.
look, just forget all that crap. Forget that this is a big match. Just play like the fucking 30-year-old that you are.
Yeah. And
Play a
it's
good
like,
tennis match. Like it's not that hard.
yeah, it's another Saturday. Like, you're a good tennis player. It's not all that surprising that you're there to begin with. So,
Yeah. And I think this is what I mean by like when you watched, it didn't feel like she was so elated because I don't think she'd put like emotional pressure on the match beforehand, which I
mhm.
think she needed to do in order to actually win the match. So it was a bit of a kind of slow burn, I think, in terms
Yeah.
of really appreciating it and feeling it. But yeah, fuck, I'm so happy. I mean, I stood up for the whole match. I was like, I was home alone, so
When your wife thinks she's the coach.
literally, no, literally, I was home alone and I was talking at like the most embarrassing shit. Like I was talking to
Mm.
her when she was at the sit down. I was cheering. It was very much like that woman who's shouting
Yeah, the TV.
at the TV.
Uh,
Very embarrassing, but
mhm.
like all worth it in the end.
Yeah, I was so happy for Mukura, so
Yeah.
happy. I very often want her to win tournaments, and then I say it, and friends are like, you need to kill yourself.
A reasonable reaction.
But yeah, I didn't say her name. I say there's someone I really want to win, and I won't say who it is. And and then she did it. So I was super excited for her. One of my favorite players on tour to watch in general. It's if anything, if one of those like kind of weaker 1000s is good for anything, it's for such good players to have that achievement and hopefully
Hmm.
to make something happen out of it later on.
Yeah. Do you think something will happen? Is this like, oh yeah, I'm now gonna get 5+ career titles? Will she be able to perform a little bit better in big matches, or do you think like that's like your congratulations?
No, I mean, at least five carry titles doesn't. That it all depends on longevity, which obviously we never know about. But I do think it's possible, and I do think the mental block probably. I'm not saying that she's going to win every semifinal and final she plays from then on, but the approach probably will be better, and that could go a long way. And I mean, she's just playing maybe more orderly
Yeah.
tennis to an extent,
Mhm.
and I think as far as consistency, that always helps. So yeah, might end up being her best career, her best year so far. We'll
Mhm.
see.
I agree with that. I think, unfortunately, I used to watch her and think there were periods where she was sensational, and then periods within a match she's kind of gone down a bit.
Mhm.
I feel like we've lost a little bit of that, and it
Yeah,
takes away a bit of the excitement. But it's just like being a bit more consistent in the throughout a
yeah.
match. I feel like this. By the way, I do want to mention this stat because I think this is crazy. Someone posted a list of like how many 1,000 tournaments that players have played, and
Yeah.
Mukova's 29 years old. And in her career, she's played 27 1,000
Mhm.
tournaments. And Andreeva has 20. This is just insane. Noskova has 23. Towson has 20, also a player that we think of as being quite injured. Like
Yeah.
Emma Navarro has 26. Diana Schneider,
It's-
21.
mhm.
Raducanu, 24. Like, this is crazy. I feel like that must be a
Yeah.
typo. She really has not played that much.
Yeah, and it's wild. And actually, she had the stat. She was the best player, not to win one,
Yeah,
as far as like win percentage, I think. It
yeah.
was. It's good that she put that behind her as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm hoping for like more titles. I don't think at this stage that she's going to win a slam because I like haven't seen an incredible level from her in
Mhm.
a fairly long time. I don't think.
Yeah,
But we'll see. I think she's closer to the stage of winning ugly nowadays than the
she
stage
ever
of like
was.
you
Yeah.
watch her and you think this is the best player ever. Why don't you have any career titles? So
Mhm.
we'll see if she can balance that and like win ugly until the point where she starts playing the Sabalenkas, Igas, Rabakinas, Cocos,
Yeah.
and can play that level.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with this anyway. I mean, I don't need anything
Yeah.
more.
And yeah, and I said this as well on Mboko. I think it was actually a more impressive run than the Canada one in many ways. I think the tennis was a bit more impressive. Um, and yeah, and just the fact that it like the second one, I guess, and even though she didn't win,
Mm.
um, I was still very, very impressed. I thought that was great stuff, especially in those and Rebecca matches. Uh, yeah, it was
Yeah, no.
like compared to like the Rebecca and Osaka matches in Canada, they felt less like gifts and more like a result of incredible competing from Mboko.
Mm. Yeah, I really enjoyed that Andreeva match. I thought they both played some great stuff, and Mboka was amazing to come out on top. And yeah, same
Yeah,
with Rebecca. Now, I think this is really impressive. Like I don't imagine there's many players who've made in like recent memory who've made two 1,000 finals in the same year, like
yeah.
within a year, and especially like
I
not their
mean,
first and second one.
yeah, and that was the stats, right? She went from like 350 or something to 10th in the world in a
Yeah,
year. That's so
yeah,
insane.
yeah. I think this is being underhyped. I will say, like,
Yeah.
I think she is being slightly underhyped. Like for some
Mm.
reason, we're still in Jovic conversations.
Mm.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Doha. Next week we were in Dubai. Um, in my opinion, not that much to say about this. I think the best part was the Gauff Svitolina match. Aside
Yes.
from that, I mean, the quarterfinalists were Antonia Ruzic, Alexandra Iala, Clara Towson, and Mira Andreeva. So like the losing quarterfinals, that is.
Yeah. And so they're like they're fine, you know, like there's a
Well,
few
I don't
seats
know. I
maybe.
like don't know who Ruzic is. I will.
She played Naomi in the first round of the Australian Open. And like pushed her
Yes.
actually quite a bit.
Yeah,
She
she
played
did.
great. Um yeah. And she was one of those where like she was a lucky loser, but because everyone kept pulling out, so like withdrawing mid-match, she ended up being in the quarters. But and she actually took a set from Svitolina, so probably you can say she earned it, kind of. That one. Anyways, it actually just given everything that happened, everything being uh, Sabalenka and Swiatek not playing at all and being threatened actually by the tournament director. That's always a good way to get someone to come back and play your event. To say, oh, they should be punished by the WTA for not playing. Anyways, that did happen, and um, and then yeah, a bunch more followed actually, either like not showing up at all, like Naomi again, or showing up but not finishing matches. Badosa did that. A few others did. Like, many
Badosa
of us
did
did.
that, and
Rybakina did
then
that.
some.
Yeah, and then some. So it was really just one of those where I don't think that many of them were actually injured. It's just it's one of those weeks. It just is one of those weeks where like people don't feel like they have to go that hard. And
Mm.
if they're like struggling a bit physically or they're like losing the match already, they're not finishing it. But all of that to say, you still look at the semi-final lineup and it's like, wow, that's actually pretty good. Um, and that's really sums up, I think, the state of the tour as it is. You can have so many players not showing up or even like struggling or failing or whatever. At the end of the day, you still have such good players and actually still good matches. That was one thing, my one big takeaway from the Middle East. The AO was a fluke as far as so many underwhelming
Mm.
matches being played. There were still many great ones here, despite the lineup being much weaker.
Mm. The problem I have is not just about good names because they are good names, and this is a good semi-final lineup, and actually even the
Yeah,
quarterfinal lineup not that bad.
and the matches were good. In
Yeah,
semis.
I think the thing is that I don't feel excited because I don't feel like any of them are in particularly good form.
Hmm.
Like yeah, Amanda was there, but it's not like
She wasn't in super good form.
Hmm?
He didn't feel like she was in great form, did he?
Yeah,
So
yeah. I don't think Andreeva was in good form. I don't think Towson was in particularly good form. So it's just like this is just how it's going to be. Fine, I get it, but I just personally think,
yeah, it's like October tennis in February.
yeah, basically, and I think it's just because of the unrelenting nature of the tour and like how, yeah, everyone's already a little bit tired, even though
Yeah,
we're,
and people are picking up spots. It's like, oh, I know Indian Wells and Miami is coming up, and I need to
yeah,
be in shape for that. So,
yeah. I used to love the feeling of the gap between Australian Open and Indian Wells, where it was like it
hmm.
just didn't feel like this of having like another
Yeah,
sunshine double before the sunshine double.
yeah. And to be fair, there were some results that turned out to be relevant. It's interesting on the ATP. Like, it's actually crazy. It never matters. What happened in February stays in February, and it doesn't mean shit at all. Never. On the WTA, actually, it does mean more.
Mm,
He always has found a great level and like kickstarted a good season from then on as always. And Simova also won the high and then went on to have a great year. It tends to feel more significant.
mm.
And Riva also had like its big breakthroughs that she carried over to Indian Wells. So you've had significant results, but yeah,
It's also because on ATP, it's just like it's just like here and there, like everywhere. There's no narrative. There's no 1000. There's
yeah,
no real like structure of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the Middle East swing. It's like, oh, I'll just play Rotterdam, or I'll play Rotterdam and then I'll play Acapulco, or I'll play like
yeah, Doha.
Rio. Like the Golden Swing is the closest thing, but for
Yeah,
some
it's true.
reason, because of it randomly being clay in the middle of hardcourt season, people don't
Yeah,
go.
no one wants to
Um,
play that now.
yeah, so it feels like it's like just a time for like guys to do what they need, what they want, and
Hmm.
it's not building up to anything. It's
No,
not a story on its own.
yeah,
Um,
it's always so like out of context.
yeah.
It's kind of wild.
But yes, in Dubai, Pegula beat Svitolina very straightforwardly. I was just going to say the good achievement for Svitolina, I think, was the Gauff win,
Yeah.
which was a pretty great match. Like, was it like
Hmm.
12-10 or something like that in the second set tiebreak?
15-13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it went deep. She fought so hard, Gauff. So hard. The quality
Yeah.
wasn't always amazing. Double fault was still an issue, but my God, she really. I mean, she kind of played out of her mind in some way. I think she had like 27 winners in the second set, which is very Ungoffian uh, thing to do. That's not a word. But yeah, she did do that, and actually, it was even more impressive from Svitolina to keep playing well, just keep playing
Mm.
well, keep on competing at a high level. Like many games when to juice, when to break points, and Svitolina was just equal to it. And at the end, she came out on top because overall she was probably the better player in that match. So, yeah,
Probably two of the biggest fighters on the tour.
yeah, fair to
I
say.
would, yeah. Like in match, regardless of the stakes, even particularly.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then the Pagula win, just like I felt that quite strongly that that was going to
It
happen. I
it was
think,
it was so obvious, yeah.
yeah,
I
she's just better.
Yeah, at this stage she does kind of everything better than Svitolina is with this, and also she had much less tennis in the legs, so she was
Mm.
favored either way. And
And
yeah,
she is taking her Dubai trophy, her fourth career 1000 trophy, by the way. She's headed all the way over to the 250, the 250 tournament in Austin because she
she has
just
now pulled out of it,
okay, fine. Well, sorry
but she
about
did
that.
plan on playing it. She was,
Why
I
was she?
think
I feel like she like announced it after the.
she flew. I think I think she went. So
Oh,
she intended to play at some point, but then like changed her mind. Maybe felt something. I think it's very
yeah. I literally looked up the schedule before starting recording because I needed to slander her.
yeah. Well.
Well,
Maybe she did. She probably did intend on playing, but then like changed her mind. So no,
okay.
she isn't playing. And
Oh,
yeah, so that was Dubai.
that was
And for Pegula,
Dubai.
I mean, it's like it's a good result. It's a good result. It's nothing like it's not smashing our expectations of her or anything.
Yeah, I do not need to see tweets about how now she deserves to win a slam because she's won an undermanned 1000 where she was the number
Th-
one seed, or was she the
There
number
have
one
been
seed
no. It was Rebecca. No, it was Iga actually. I'm already like
in
Iga is not.
Dubai?
Oh yeah, she didn't play Dubai, so it is
Yeah,
Rebecca.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna check this.
Rebecca is number three in the world and
Yeah,
number
but
two
was
and
she
number one
there?
on the plane.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Pagula the fourth seed. Fair enough. She felt like she was the number one seed. Like I looked at the lineup. I was
yeah,
like, I think you are the most likely player to win this.
yes, and because she's more consistent than really any of them. That was
She's
her
she's more consistent than anything.
like that was
You
her seventh or eighth semifinal in a row. She won one of the titles, so people were like, "Oh, well, that's good consistency, but it's also like a very big thing to do." But she did get over the line here, so at
yeah.
least
Well,
it probably does feel pretty big and important for her.
I don't think it
Like
means.
from her POV, I don't think like it actually is going to like carry over in like some big way, but for her,
Yeah.
it probably did feel pretty great.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure, but yeah, because otherwise it starts getting in your head that you keep
Yeah,
failing to win these titles if
I don't know
you're
if you saw
making
like
it.
she replied to a tweet and she was like,
I did see that.
"I can
Dubai
sell."
loading. Saw
Yeah,
that.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
she was right. Um,
Well, I was right last year when I said Cocciaretto was going to shock the world at Wimbledon, and she did.
the rivalry being actually being you and Pegula.
Wait, that's true.
They're also podcast rival.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
she's stepping on all my toes.
that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I'm poor,
Anyways.
she's rich. She's a good tennis player. I'm not a good tennis player. She has a
Yeah.
podcast. I have a better podcast.
Yes. For sure. Anyways, that was Dubai. Um, and
The
then
the
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 guys showed
men.
up in Doha.
Yeah, they were in Rio. One of the best. like settings, I think,
Yes,
for a
it's very
tournament like
beautiful.
yeah, so beautiful. And usually the crowds are incredible, so I always try and tune in for them, especially the
Mhm.
Fonseca matches. But I watched the a bit of the match that he was losing to Bussi, Ignacio Bussi. Um, I think that's definitely how you say his name.
I'm not mature enough to pretend I don't find this funny.
I don't know how to say
That's
his name.
that's so crazy.
And the crowd was like a little bit awkward. So again, like
Mm,
so much of my reason for watching the Golden Swing is to feel how they're feeling and like the crowd noise and the you know everything that goes along with that. And I didn't get that this year from anything that I watched. So yes, also won by an Argentine, Thomas Echeverry. I don't know how to say that.
Rio was won by Echeverry,
Echeverry, actually,
which
that's his first career title.
yeah, you wouldn't think so, right? She has had some decent results on tour and clay, all of it. And actually, I think that was like a pretty enormous effort. I think he played like a bunch of epics. Actually, he was kind of fucked over by the schedule. He complained about that. And in the end, he still pulled through in the final, winning like a really tight match, I think. So
Did it
pretty impressive.
rain? Is that why? I feel like the semis and the final were on the same day.
Yes, I think that did happen. Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, he's yeah, like huge physical effort, if anything.
Hmm.
And mental, of course, but like mainly that's so impressive how
Yeah,
much tennis he had to play.
I think he's a quality player. I'm glad he got
Mhm.
his first title. I think he's yeah one of the better
Title
clay
is
first guys.
yeah.
Yeah. Also in that same week, Corda won Delray Beach against Tommy Paul. That like
This
fucking
was like the shock of the week for me.
Corda winning.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Is he still injured or what? I think he's a great player.
He never wins anything.
That is true. He never wins anything. But Tommy Paul should not have been in the final. I saw him. He was getting
Oh.
dragged around by Lerner T, and he was like, yeah. I
Mm.
reckon I couldn't watch the whole thing because it went like into the night, but I
Yeah.
think he was happy to be in the final.
Mm. Yeah, and the remaining of Fritz still make like the semifinals or something. Um,
Quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, yes. But yeah, no, I mean, Korda, I never expect him to win the title, never.
He's
Just,
got like three in the last year, I think.
that's not true. That can't be true.
He's got two in the last year.
Okay.
No, he doesn't. No, he
No,
doesn't.
okay, yeah.
He's got one in 2024 and one in 2026.
Yeah. So he's Korda, man. Like that forehand under pressure in a big match will break down. It obviously will. He's just one of those. But yeah, I was very, very glad actually to see this, to see him come through. And against like a decent field actually. Like, it was another like US championship situation.
Yeah.
Like Tien, Fritz, Paul, all of them were there. Calder won. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
It's so weird to me the guys who are like honorary Americans. Like I feel like Rude, Kecmanovic, these guys that always show up to the American tournaments every year.
Mm,
It's weird, like Rude, go to the Golden Swing, man. What are you doing? You
that's
love clay.
true. He has lost the juice for like clay ring, which is very sad. Uh,
He's a dad now. He's just trying to make
remember
a quick buck.
remember who you are. Uh, anyways, yes, it was Del Rey.
That was Del Rey. That was one of the that's the tournament that has a car in the side.
Right.
I love
Yes.
those. I love watching those. I think they look so funny.
Mhm.
Yes, and then the most kind of relevant, I'd say, tournament that happened was the Doha Men's 500 situation where
Yes.
Yannick Sinner lost to Jakub Menchik, which I think
No.
is a retirable offence.
I mean, Djokovic kept playing. I wish he hadn't, but
He
he kept
was
playing.
40.
Well, even better reason to retire. Anyway.
What happened here? What's going on with Yannick? Is it permanent? Was Menchik just
Is he
excellent?
is he washed? That's what I said on Twitter, but yeah, I actually don't think so. Uh, um,
Do you think he was distracted because the Winter Olympics was on and his body was like getting like feeling like it should be there?
She was like, I should have just been skiing, man. And
Yeah.
no, I mean, she was paying close attention. She was like commenting all the time on Winter Olympic athletes, Instagram, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
you've
no,
got
I
me
think,
feeling left out.
you know, she's like, please include me, let me in. Anyway, uh, jokes aside, he, she just was not playing great. Basically, that's what it was. One of like I think he was trying to be more defensive than usual, but he was also like missing a lot, which is kind of, a recipe for disaster.
Mm.
When you're trying to be more consistent, but actually you are less consistent, yeah. Kind of tragic. I think it's maybe a bit slight identity crisis, maybe, where like he's trying to be maybe more defensive, or he's just not really trusting his ability to just end points always on his terms, which was never really an issue when you hit that big. I mean, um, never really felt quite like that, but it kind of felt like that at points in the Djokovic match. Not always, but certainly in a few big moments, in a few sets. And then against Menchik, I mean, yeah, it kind of felt the same. The forehand, I mean, he should just break it down even more. The forehand is off for some reason. I think he's trying to play it a bit higher, but he's missing still, and he's just not really going after it. So. He let Menchik dictate too much, and Menchik had a great serving there, which is
Can happen.
very
Yeah.
dangerous, as we know.
Yeah.
And obviously great backhand as always, forehand up and down, but because he was going after it so often, he still got quite a few rewards, especially because the serve was doing that much damage. Um, so yeah, just one of those. I don't think it's like hugely significant, but yeah, it's back to back questionable losses. So
Mm.
it should be thought about as like, yeah, slight slump maybe. Yeah. And he seems to think so actually. I think he said so.
Okay. I will talk about it more on the next podcast because I don't have tons of time right now to
Yeah.
to outline my theories and concerns or lack of for Yannick. So if that's
Yeah.
something the people are interested in, that's something of a cliffhanger.
Hmm.
But yeah, overall, Alcaraz. I think the reason why it feels so concerning, let's say it for people, I'm going to put it in quotation marks for Yannick because I'm not really concerned big picture, but it's because
Yeah.
Alcaraz is on this complete fucking tear where
I
like,
agree.
you know, I mean
Hmm.
it's probably the same as how it felt like a year and a bit ago,
Yeah.
or maybe exactly a year ago, where it was like Yannick cannot lose, and Carlos, who felt like he was in the driving seat, is now losing to David Goffin, and is he ever going to win all the slams? All this kind of stuff has Yannick
Yeah.
overtaken him, at least in terms of kind of consistent dominance. So
Yeah.
it's flipped a little bit, but Carlos just completely unplayable in the final. I mean, Feast was like, he was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do that again. One of those
Yeah. No,
kind
it
of.
was actually an interesting week for Alcaraz because he felt closer to his floor for most of it. And usually, actually, that could mean some upsets before him being at his floor. We've seen it quite a bit. This time around, he kept finding ways. I think Khachanov and then Rublev had some quite impressive performances against him, and still Alcaraz managed to find a way, rely on his serve maybe a bit more. His forehand defense has really improved tremendously. I think maybe people talk about the serve actually thinks it's bigger. Like he feels unbreakable from the baseline. Like you cannot hit through him. It looks so difficult. And then yeah, shows up in the final against Feast, and suddenly it's at an 11 out of 10.
Mhm.
Cannot miss a ball. Hitting winners from every position, angle, height, plane of existence you could think of. He was so impressive. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I think it's so weird. This can't be the case, but I feel like there was a point in the Djokovic match in the final where Alcaraz started playing more defensively,
Yeah.
and he remembered who he was. Like, you are one of the best movers that we've ever seen. And
Mhm.
since then, I think I've been really impressed by his defense again. And like, he looks like the guy I remember from the past of like, you can't hit through him. Like,
Yeah.
the best thing that you can hope for is that he's got a bit of an off day, a forehand off day or something like that, and you can break that down, or you can hope for some misses, but you aren't going to beat him by
Hmm.
out hitting him. I feel like this guy is back. I mean, I didn't watch. I watched some of the Rublev match and I watched a lot of the Feast match, and like that's what I have to go off. But
Yeah.
I thought he was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, to break it down, that's always what it comes down to when I'm saying stuff like, I don't think anyone has have ever played better tennis really than he does, and I don't think anyone just in history has been like more skilled really because like
Yeah.
he feels like the at his best he feels like the best defender and the best offensive player. So
Mm,
it's like if you just break it down like that, like what how do you
yeah.
do better than that?
I agree. I think I don't know, maybe Federer's a better offensive player.
Yeah, I mean, or like comparable, like on a similar tier, but Federer was nowhere near that
Yeah,
level
yeah,
of
yeah,
defense.
of
So it's
course.
just one of those.
I see this argument. I do still think I really believe heavily that there are some things that are un not maybe not unquantifiable, but slightly like unflashy, unshowy that can make a really big
Mm.
difference to someone's level of tennis. So I think when people watch Andreeva play, I can just use her for example. Lots of people look at her and they're like, I don't see it. I don't see why she's that successful. I don't see why loads of people think she's got so much potential. I think her ability to move the ball around is like remarkable and such an unflashy way to be really good
Mm.
because it doesn't look impressive at all, but being able to choose where your opponent is going to hit their shots from and then eventually hit into an open
Mm.
space it's a very useful way of getting them to either miss or to hit a
Yeah.
winner. Like, but the ball's not traveling very fast. Your shots don't look, you know, delicious. Your defense is not that impressive because it's all like kind of like moon balls and slices and stuff. But I think ultimately, if you're looking for how good at tennis does this make you, it's a
Mm.
really good skill to have. I feel like Djokovic has that same thing where he's got a lot of skills that are unflashy, and I'm like not even paying attention to like this whole mental game clutchness situation, but he's got a lot of tennis skills that are unflashy
Mm.
that for me still put him above Alcaraz in like in level, raw level. But
Mm.
I'm happy to put him second. I'm happy to say he's most skilled player ever, and I'm happy to kind of consider the possibility that in the future he will play at a level that's higher than anyone has ever played.
Mhm.
That's why.
Yeah. If anything, he's already pretty close.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I know, and I think this is quite
yeah.
a popular opinion, and I think I'm not completely disregarding it. I just think he, the way he plays, kind of exaggerates that. In the same way that lots of
Mm.
people think, I do think a lot of people think Federer was better than he is because
Mm.
of the way he plays.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. So I do have a question on this actually.
Okay,
So Alcaraz is now, I think, up 12 on the year. I think that's right. Either 11 or 12.
I know what you're gonna ask.
Uh, yeah. So how far are we going? How far are we thinking? Of course, you know the record for this, right? So most
41?
like it is 41. Do you know when? By whom?
Yeah, it's
Actually?
2011, Djokovic, Sergio
Yes.
Tacchini. He lost in the semi-finals of Roland Garros to Federer when he did that. Yeah. Which is
That's
just a
actually
disgusting way to lose it. Like, what are you doing? How is that how you lose it?
my goat. Anyway, actually, you know what?
Best match of his career.
That's the first great match I remember watching, like
Oh
from my
yeah,
TV.
because you're
I was,
French.
I was 11, yeah.
That's funny because I
Um,
really remember watching 2011
oh,
Wimbledon.
10. I was 10 actually. Mm.
Yeah, I really remember watching 2011 Wimbledon and really, really remembering it and rooting for the guy who I understood to be the underdog because I
Mm.
knew Nadal and Federer
Federer.
so much. I've been watching them
Yeah.
for ages, so I was like, oh, there's this new guy.
Hmm.
Little did I know, like he'd won like a million matches that year already.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Um,
the question is, how far will Alcaraz go into that
yeah.
41? I just don't see it happening. Like again, this unflashy game of someone like Djokovic, and actually I would say Sinner to an extent as well, just means that they are is more is just more stable and less upset proof. And I just think you can always have a day. Alcaraz could always have a day where he loses to someone
It's be
quite surprising. I know it's
it's
been a
be
while. I know,
yeah, it's becoming hard to imagine, is my
I
thing. It's
know,
like
I know, I know,
it's
but
like when, whom?
I know,
Yeah.
but I
You don't think it's going that far? I mean, I'm inclined to agree, I guess.
I think, I mean, even just a kind of, even from almost from like a motivation standpoint, Djokovic is one of the most insane athletes we've ever seen, and like his mentally, clinically, um,
Yeah.
and his desire to win, to keep winning, even when you're 38 matches in.
Yeah.
I think Iga's streak loss was partially because she was like mentally exhausted and everything. I
Hmm.
think it's more likely that happens to Alcaraz. So, and
Okay.
also we are like, let's not ignore Sinner. He's not
Yeah.
playing very well right now,
If
but
anything, yeah. If anything, my theory is Sinner will figure his shit out just about soon enough
mhm.
for the streak to be broken. It would be kind of funny if it was a RG as well, but probably not.
No, I think he'll lose in Miami.
Mm.
Um, yeah.
David Goffin, he's back, baby.
If not, then Monte Carlo. Like, I just
Mm.
I would make. I think I would be more inclined. I think he's more likely, in my opinion, to win the calendar year slam than to
Oh,
break the 41-0 record.
no, that's a hot take. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
I know. But there's just like for a guy, he's particularly specifically for a guy like Alcaraz, I don't think he's that conducive to like streaks. Obviously he is because he's on one right now, but he's not a
Yeah.
he can just have one. I mean, he lost to Rune last year when he was injured, but like there's always a possibility that those
Mm.
situations happen. He's a little bit injured against like a plucky, talented guy at a smaller
Yeah.
tournament or at Miami. Like,
Honestly, I've found him so impressive since last summer that like he feels better than ever, and so I find it even harder to like look at past events and feel like okay, that can still happen. It's it's
I'm
it's becoming very very hard to imagine.
yeah, I'm sure he is better than ever, and I believe in his. This isn't a comment on his
Yeah,
level.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more a comment on how I don't know
Hmm. Yeah, no,
how I
it's
think he
interesting.
is.
And it's also kind of funny that in theory he could break that record and still lose RG. So it would be like, oh, well, maybe people will be like, oh, well, actually, that's a bit of a disappointment, even though he won.
Yeah.
That's the issue with Slam overraters anyway.
Mm.
So, I mean, it's true. Actually, it's true. Can you imagine? You win 41 matches in a row. It's like, oh, but actually, you just won one Slam and another guy won one Slam. So it's like you had about as good of a start to the year. It's like, anyways. Um,
Yeah, but within that, you would have also what like anyone who cares. People maybe overrate slams, but they don't completely disregard everything but slams. You would have won. He would have won Indian
thank God.
Wells,
Yeah.
Miami, Madrid, and Rome in that time as well. So like,
Yeah. That'd been an all-time run, really.
yeah,
But anyways, okay, yeah. So neither of us think it's happening. You think he'll get upset, and I think Sinner will figure his shit out just about soon enough.
I don't think he. I'm not picking the upset. I'm saying like the consideration plus the upset
Mm,
possibility.
okay.
I think if this were the other way around and it were Sinner on this run, which it might have been last year, I don't know,
No,
or 2 years
he
ago.
was he was banned.
Yeah. But if it was Sinner on it, he's had streaks. If
Yeah,
it
I mean
was
he also won AO and then a tournament in 24.
yeah,
It was a great tournament.
um, if it were if it was Sinner on the run, I'd be picking Alcaraz to be the guy who ends
Hmm.
it. With
Yeah.
Alcaraz on the run, I'm saying I think higher possibility that it's someone else,
Okay.
basically.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, any other points to add? We are in this week. Men are in Dubai, Acapulco, and
Hmm.
Santiago for the
Yeah.
Chile Open, and the women are in. Do you
Um,
know?
the women are in. Do I know? Um, it's
One of
only
them,
two feet.
Pagula, is not at.
Yeah, Austin. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other one is an
And
Arango 500.
oh, is it in Mexico? Merida?
Yeah, Merida.
Mm.
Let's have a look. I am actually really intrigued to see. Oh, it's a pretty good field. Okay, I will give you
In
£500
Merida?
if you guess the number 3 seed.
Oh, I know that Janice Chen is seated. Oh, actually, I know this because I look at the draw it's
There's
Lee,
a
which I,
there's.
I was I was surprised as well.
I hope she wins the tournament because I've got a good title for a podcast if she does.
Okay, I'm rooting for Chen, of course.
Who's the number
Um,
3 seed?
no, number 6.
No, who's the number 3 seed?
It's Lee.
Okay. I will not be paying you that money.
I didn't guess. I saw it
Yeah, okay, that's
because I noticed that Chen. I was like, that's kind of crazy that she's seeded at 500, and I look and that, oh, actually, Anli is seeded higher, so maybe it's not that impressive.
also
Anyways,
also seeded Jessica Boozers Monero and the Diana Yastremska, whose name is already unbolded on Wikipedia because she has already lost
that's not surprising to me.
to
Or
Stakusik.
shouldn't be to anyone, really. Um, anyways, yeah, that's happening. Can't promise I'll uh, be all that invested, but well, I mean, I'll be watching Chen, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah. All right. That's that.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a goodbye? Have we had
Yes,
any recent comments or hate mail or anything?
no, actually, mostly love. Love is in the air.
Oh
Um,
yeah, he called you schizophrenic. I like that.
mhm. Yeah, that's, you know what? If you're schizophrenic on Twitter, if you're at least kind of reasonable and listenable in podcasts, none of it matters. That's, I think, a good takeaway for all of us. Uh, anyways, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back probably either at the start of Indian Wells or maybe midway through or something. Um, yeah, so looking forward to that. That's always a good tournament, even though it's way too long. Um, so yeah, look forward to that. Enjoy the tennis. Enjoy the end of winter. How it will end for you sooner than it will for me because it is back in full swing, unfortunately. And yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.